What up, YouTube? Yo, Toe! What up? Sorry it's so dark. I'm putting shinies in. And I'm on my laptop. What's up? So I have retouched up my hair. I haven't done these ones yet. Raven's helping me put bling in these ones. Nice job. Did you see how I put yours in?
I took some looks.
Yeah. I like yours too.
Keep going, try to get this side of your head done.
Good afternoon. What's up, guys? I am currently in McDonough, Georgia. I'm getting ready for a festival that me and a few of our friends are going to be attending. I don't want to say too much info yet because it's like right around the corner. But I will be coming out pretty soon with a lot of promo and advertisement for it. So if you do want to keep up to date on everything, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is _un.bound. And my Snapchat is Tomikata, TOMIICADHA. If you guys want to check me on Snapchat, I've already put some stuff on there. Mike Kinder, what's up? Mike Kinder actually followed me on Venmo recently. It's either Mike or William. One of y'all followed me. But thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. And I also see that I have 146 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for every single one of those. They mean so much. Make sure you go ahead and click the notification bell so that you get notifications when I am doing lives just like this and when I do post edited videos because they will also notify you about that too.
Good to see me too.
Maybe it was Cash App. Oh, your son's William. I knew the world wasn't, so big, right? You guys had to know each other somehow. Don't all kinders know each other? Right now, I'm having my buddy Sean from Chicago. He goes to the Chicago Institute of Arts. He is making a whole new logo for a whole new LLC that we are going to be bringing to this place that we are going to. Again, I don't want to say too much about it, just because I do kind of want to keep it under wraps. But he's making a whole new thing and completely revamping everything. And I'm really excited to be able to show you guys what is going to be coming up and out of here in the future and what we're moving on to next. So what have you been up to? What have you been doing? Staying out of trouble? Yeah, we're trying to stay out of trouble.
Trouble likes finding us.
Yes, well, something like that. We did have a run-in with the Georgia police. They did do an illegal search and seizure on my car. I didn't have anything that they could ticket me for. It was really just a big misunderstanding as far as the whole procedure went. But we're kind of just getting used to it as it goes on. Yeah, should we call them?
Sure.
So
you got a ticket.
Yeah, so I'll just tell you guys what went on. I was driving from Florida to Georgia, leaving one gig and going to the other gig, and I was in a work zone, so I was making sure to drive the speed limit and everything. And the next thing I know, I look in my rearview mirror and there's blue lights behind me. So I'm like, oh shit. So I pull over and I sit there, and the guy comes up to my car and he says, you were swerving, which is weird to hear for me because I wasn't swerving. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning, so I was like really awake. I had been up since 6 that day. So I was just up and I was getting from one place to another. And he pulled me over. He asked me if I was tired or anything or why I was swerving. I didn't want to tell him he was wrong. I didn't agree with him either. But yeah, he basically just told me I was swerving, and then he told me he was going to write me a warning and to get out of my car. So I got out of my car, and this day Raven was sick in the back. He like had gotten sick that morning. That's why we were up so early. But he was in the back resting, and I got out of my car, and I didn't have my shoes on just because I was driving, and he was like, no shoes? And I was like, no, I hope that's not a problem. He's like, no, it's not a problem. So I stood in front of his car as he like wrote me this warning ticket, and I was asking him, like, do I have to appear for anything? No. Do I have to pay for anything? No, nothing like that. Okay, so I'm not really understanding what I'm supposed to be getting out of this. So I'm talking to him, and I look back at my car for whatever reason to see a second cop coming from the front of my car, and he's opening my passenger door, and he's ushering Raven and my dog in Raven's hands out. So I ask him, hey, like, what's going on? And they jump up and they start saying, hey, you need to calm down and stuff like that. Mind you, I'm not even freaking out about anything. I'm just wondering, why is this happening behind my back, kind of thing. So they get Raven out of the car, and they get Fia out of the car. And I guess they had told Raven that there's a dog coming. Now, let me back up a little bit. When I was talking to the cop about the warning ticket, he was checking off boxes and yada yada. He said, all right, do you mind if I bring a dog in and I do a sniff on your car? And I said, well, I don't think that's necessary since you only pulled me over for one thing and you're not, breathalyzing me or anything else. Also, you would need a search warrant for that. And he was like, okay. So he checked some boxes, and that's when I turned around and I saw Raven getting out of the car. So now the second cop is telling Raven there's a dog coming. And I'm confused because I want to comply, but at the same time, I know my rights, and I know that it wasn't in their jurisdiction to search my car, especially under having already told them after they asked me if they can search my car and telling them no. So anyway, they get him and Fia out of the car, and they put them on the side of the road, and now they got me out of my car, and they just go in my car. There's like no dog whatsoever. They just open all the doors, and they just start throwing all my shit around. I don't know if I have the photo still, but the back of my car was completely wrecked. Like, I lived there, So now I'm sitting here out of my car, like, don't have anything. My car's still running, and they're looking all over my car, and they pull out my jar of sugar, because all my camping gear is back there, my tools are back there, the stuff to go from one gig to another is back there, all my food, my cooking utensils. So they pull out my jar of sugar, they open it up, they bring it to me, and they say, is this LSD? I'm like, what, that sugar? They're like, yes. Usually when we see sugar like this, it's LSD. And I'm like, okay, well, no. No, it is not. That's not LSD. That's actually sugar. It says that on the label. But also there was Gatorade mixed in the bottom, like Gatorade powder and then sugar cubes on top. Just like a big jar. So like I explained it to him. I was like, well, when you get into a tight situation, you can actually use the sugar cube and like a packet of salt and put it in some water, and you can mix it up and create an electrolyte drink, and have that with just like some vitamins and bread, and it'll hold you over for the day until you can get a full meal. Anyway, I didn't get that far in the conversation with them until they blew me off. They rolled their eyes. They gave me a yeah, right. So I didn't even get to finish that whole thing that I just explained to you guys, but I told them that they can Google it if they would like. And again, they blew me off. They set the sugar on the cop car, and I said, I'm not sure what the problem is here, officer. I'm trying to comply with all of your things. I think we're having a miscommunication. And he looks at me, one of the cops, now there's three. One of the cops looks at me, he goes, The only problem that we have here is that you have a drug problem. So I'm like, all right, let's get it on. let's do this. All right. So now I have a third cop trying to tell me like, oh, where are you coming from? Asking me all the same questions that the first cop has asked me. Asked me all the same questions that the second cop has now asked me. Mind you, I'm still talking to them calmly and reasonably, and they're blowing me off. They get to the point where I'm telling them like, this is like offending my rights and stuff like that. You can't just like go into my car and illegally seize something, especially if there's no reason to search, and the third cop just looks at me. He goes, if you keep talking, I'm gonna put you in cuffs. And I'm like, okay, so I do have the freedom to speech. I also know if you guys were to read me my rights, which I've been arrested and not have my rights read to me before, I do know through my rights that are supposed to be read to me that I also have the right to remain silent. So this guy keeps asking me the same questions, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this is a miscommunication between y'all, because here I am, I'm giving you all the information that you've asked. You didn't get the information that you wanted, so you're illegally looking through my car right now, where you're still not finding the things that you want to find. So long story short, they didn't find anything. They start to close up my van, and they pulled 2 ashtrays out, and they don't have anything in them, or no, they had like 2 roaches in them, and they tell them like, throw these out. These can't be here. And I'm like, okay, like, is this really what the fuck is happening? So they made me pour all my shit out. They made me just like throw the roaches out, which was really just like the filter and the whatever, but we hadn't even like smoked that day, and they were saying that my car smelled like weed, which my car is going to smell like weed. I lived in Michigan and I was a caregiver, and I just came from California. Like, we've been told that my car smells like weed since Texas. I know my car smells like weed. I smoke weed in my car when I'm allowed to. Like, because I live in my car because I'm homeless. So like here I was trying to communicate with them, and all they're telling me, they're saying that my car smells like weed, right? And I'm telling them, my car has been in states before where I'm allowed to legally smoke weed. So I'm not surprised that it smells like weed to them. So they turn that and they manipulate it, and they try to tell me this. They say, well, you told us that you had weed in the car. And I said, sir, no, like, I didn't tell you I had weed in the car. I said that there had been weed in the car when I was in California, when I was in Mexico, or not Mexico, when I was in Michigan. I've never been to Mexico in that car. So it was just like a misunderstanding, and like, luckily, because of the processes and the ways that it was done, I didn't get in trouble with anything, but it was still like very infuriating because of the way that it was done. I felt like I was taken advantage of, and even though I knew my rights as just like, I don't know, just as a person that can legally drive, like knowing my rights as that, also knowing my rights as a caregiver in the states that I can legally possess weed and I can't legally possess weed. I was stating all my rights to them, and I still felt like, they took advantage of me in a lot of situations, so I was like really frustrated. Oh, Spirite! Sorry, I got really into that. But no, we haven't really got into a lot of trouble. Hey, Spirite, what's up? Yeah, no, I didn't consent to a search either. Yes. Oh, once the dog is there, your rights are gone. They didn't have a dog there, though.
They never brought a dog.
They never had a dog
they were
there.
Going to, and they never brought one.
The first cop told me that there was a dog in his car, which there was not, which we never saw the dog. They literally just like...
They just started searching the car after we told them no.
Yeah, the first thing they brought was my jar of sugar, and then the next thing that they could find was my empty ashtray. My first empty ashtray, and then they found another ashtray that had two or three roaches in it.
They brought out an empty ashtray.
They brought out,
yeah. And was like, well, there's this in the car. And she's like, great, that's an ashtray.
Yeah, so, yes, I still have my van. Creating a probable cause. I could understand how, like, maybe, like, here's the thing. I can understand how smelling like it can be a thing, but also at the same time, I don't have a Georgia license. In Michigan, in the state of Michigan, it's legal now, I think, actually, to be recreational. And correct me if I'm wrong, but in Michigan, it's legal now to be recreational. I, however, have been a medical marijuana caregiver for the state of Michigan pretty much since they went medical. Yeah, and I've also been a patient for many years there too. Same thing applies to California. I've worked for California dispensaries before, and I've worked just as a caregiver, caretaker in California. So I also have my med card from California. So it's just, I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about like the whole like your car smelling like weed thing, because there's a whole other thing where they can just say that your car smells like weed.
Yeah.
Like I know my car smells like weed because it's not like I wash my car to not smell like weed, because I don't think it should be a probable cause, just a smell. I understand though, if you do see an ashtray, which there's no way he could have seen the ashtrays that he did find because they were in the back at the time, because like I said, we hadn't smoked, we just haven't. So yeah, I understand how there's probable cause when they can see paraphernalia or an ashtray or something like that. But as far as just like being able to smell it, like, they can say that they smell alcohol in your breath, and they still have to give you a breathalyzer. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if they're saying like, oh, it smells like alcohol or it smells like weed, then there should be a secondary test to confirm that that's actually what they're smelling, because they can say one thing. They pulled me over for saying that I was swerving when I clearly wasn't.
They didn't give you a sobriety test.
So here's the other thing. We started talking to some homies that we just met at McDonald's or whatever, and we started talking to them, and they opened up to us about the same situation, and they were telling us that they were actually profiled. So I started to think, maybe I was profiled because, I have my dreads, and my dreads were down. But more importantly, I drive a big white van. And coming from Florida, I feel like, right, like street thinking, I feel like the stuff that's in Florida would come from like Cuba or something, right? Like Cuba and then Florida, and then they're probably worried about people from Florida bringing stuff up, right? I don't know. But I would assume that that's what they were looking for, like big quantities of stuff, and that's why they kind of like bum rushed my van instead of like doing it the legal way. Because if they would have found anything in my van, like let's say, for instance, I was pushing weight and there was like, let's say their payday was in the back of my van, there's like 25 pounds of weed. What if, right? It wouldn't matter so much if they did the same procedure on me that they did, and they found an amount of weed that they could actually get a payday from. I feel like they would have gotten away with it, all because they said I was swerving, and then they were actually profiling me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, it makes me nervous to talk about, because, like, I try so hard just to...
Everybody thinks we just do all these things that are just illegal, and really we do our best just to stay within the parameters of the law and out of people's ways.
Yeah, like...
And
we still bother people for whatever reason. Like, I don't know if I told you guys this, but there was once upon a time where I was at Walmart and I was waiting for my oil change at the auto parts in Walmart. So there was an AutoZone in Walmart. Oh, did we just make the video about it?
We tried making a live about it, and you didn't have service and you didn't want to make a video.
Okay, so here's what had happened. I went to the AutoZone part of Walmart, and I took my car in for an oil change, and they were like, yeah, they'll take about an hour. So we walked around Walmart, and then we came out in the front, because at the time that was the only shade in the building. So we like sat down in this little corner, and we weren't bothering anyone. We didn't have any signs out or anything. We did start playing like our ukes and whatever, just to ourselves. But we had all of like our important stuff, because I didn't want to leave anything in my car. So I had my dog and like my backpack and like my ukulele and a few other things. So we were sitting out front, just like in the shade or whatever. And Walmart employees were passing us, and random people were passing us. Some random lady just passed us, and she saw us sitting down the road and gave us like $10. And she was like, oh, do you need any money? And we're like, no, but, we're not collecting money right now, but usually we do. And she gave us $10, so we were like, okay. And then a Walmart employee came out, and she stood in front of me, and she was like, I would like to donate to you. And I was like, okay, thank you. And she gave me the money, and she's like, okay, now sing. Like, sing for me. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. So I played a little bop for her and messed up because I was really nervous. It's one thing when you're performing for somebody, it's another thing when you're just on the street and people are trying to ignore you. So she she got her little show, and before the show was over, another Walmart employee walked up behind her and touched her shoulder and was like, okay, thank you, you can go now. And that lady left, and then we were stuck with the manager of Walmart. And the manager proceeded to tell us that we can't sit outside, and we can't collect money, and we can't busk. And I told him.
He didn't tell us that much. He told us.
Didn't he?
You can't be there. He
just said you can't be there.
Didn't ask us what was going on.
Yeah, so we were just telling him oh yeah, no, we're just waiting for my thing, and he was like, I told him I was waiting for my oil change, and he was like, oh, and felt really embarrassed about it. And I was like, yeah, no, we weren't trying to make any money or anything out here, anything like that. And he's like, okay, all right, yeah, well, there is seating in the back by the auto part. So I was like, oh, okay, thank you, I didn't see it back there. I guess we'll just go walk back there. So we walked around the outside with my dog. By the way, I still have my dog at this point. So we walked around with Fia, and we looked, y'all. We motherfucking looked. And let me tell you, there was no seating in the back by auto. So at this point, I was just bamboozled and feeling like a joke, and feeling like people, again, were trying to profile me when I was literally just trying to do normal people things. And so I got my receipt from them, and I found the seating section, by the way, which is inside the store, which I can't bring my dog in because she's not a service dog. Do you see what's going on? So the guy, he saw us with the dog, and then he tried to kick us out, and then he tried to invite us back to not look like an idiot. So anyway, I take my receipt, and I go inside. Mind you, I'm not mad at him at any of this. So I take my receipt, and I just go inside, and I go to customer service, and I'm like, hi, I'd like to speak to your manager. And they're like, okay. So we're waiting for a half hour to speak to this manager, and literally everybody else comes up and starts making excuses for him. There was one point where,
I'm sorry, they went and got the gay guy who was working there to try to feel for us because he's gay and has been profiled before.
That's what I was getting at.
They literally brought it to that kind of a thing, which is disgusting to me.
Yeah, so they didn't find the manager for us. They knew the manager that we were talking about. The lady that gave me the $2, we saw her on her shift in Walmart, and I was like, hey, who was that manager that, you were talking to right after I gave you that performance? And she was like, oh, his name is, I won't say his real name. Let's say his name is
Mark. His name is Mark. Mark who knows?
Okay, let's say his name is Mark. So we're like, okay, Mark, we need the Mark. So we tell them to radio Mark, and dude comes up. His thing says Mark. So I'm like, okay, you're a different guy.
Yeah.
You're a different person, but your thing says the name that she said, and she was there for it. So here's what I need. I need the actual guy that was there. Does anyone know the actual guy that was there? And they were like, yeah, his name is Mark. And I was like, okay, well, I need Mark. And anyway, it became this thing where the guy that they sent with the name tag that said Mark, I was like, okay, what happened? I was trying to say something to him, and I was like, I need the manager. I need Mark. And he's like, oh, my name's Mark, or my name's this, but I keep this on my name tag. He was telling me that his name was a different name, but his name tag says Mark. So it became this thing where they were not wanting us to talk to the manager, and I wasn't getting frustrated, but I was just kind of laughing because it's okay, I'm not here to
lose anybody their job.
Yeah, I'm not here to like hurt anybody, like by any means. Like, I just want to let this guy know that I was a customer of your store. I wasn't trying to be a nuisance whatsoever. And like, if there's any point in the future where you feel like you need to assume a situation that somebody's in, maybe just take a few seconds and like second guess why they're sitting out there. You know, I know it's you can't panhandle. There's signs that say I can't loiter and panhandle. So it just was another profiling thing that I'm sure if, you know, it had been a different situation, it just would have turned out differently. But again, we were just profiled. So
that was in Texas, I think. It was before Texas.
It might have been. Okay, so let's see what you guys are saying. Oh, they are creating a problem cause, said Spirit Say. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But not legal to smoke in your car, just transport in a legal state. They are allowed to lie. I get told all the time either I smell like weed or the car smells like weed. I can't really see this far. So.
In New York, smell has been outlawed as a probable cause.
Always blame it on cologne. I don't know how smell can smell alone. Like, if you want to put your flashlight in.
Candle.
Yeah, right. Like, if you want to point a flashlight in my van and, like, really try to look from the outside of my van for paraphernalia, like, by all means, go ahead. But, like, to lure me out of my car, to lure everybody else out of my car, and then lie to me that you're not going to do... I didn't give you consent to go in my car, so why are you going in my car? You know? I don't know. It's just, like... I would have told you...
Have rights?
Yeah, right. I would have told... And they weren't detaining me by any means. They weren't saying that I was under arrest already. They were saying... I literally stepped out of the car because he told me that he was writing me a warning.
They didn't even check my ID.
They didn't even check the things on us. They were literally just, on a mission to find something...
They didn't even pat me down.
Yeah.
It could have been in my pocket the whole time.
Yeah. You know? But we didn't have anything, so they didn't find anything. We're BSing y'all. Yeah, I know. It really sucks to be profiled. Yeah, it does. My Kinder, definitely profiling, yes. Still illegal search and seizure. Thank you.
I'm glad y'all know your rights.
When was the last time they saw LSD on sugar cubes? 1971. That's funny. Slacker extraordinaire. I don't think I've ever seen you on here. That's a funny comment. Yeah, you know, one of them, Copter's an old acid head.
One of them coppers is an old acid head. Yeah, the one that's like, are these sugar cubes acid? Jesus.
It's so unfair and nerve-wracking. Yeah, you're right. Like, I had to pull over at the next stop and just, like, scream. Like, I was infuriated that it went down that way. I was infuriated. I felt like I didn't feel safe is a thing. And I felt like I was at the point where it was like, who do I call if...
Cops aren't doing their job.
Yeah, right. Who do I call if I don't feel safe? Like, if a cop is going through my stuff illegally and ruining my home, essentially, like, because I live there, it's not illegal to be homeless. I can still live in my car. You know what I mean? So why are you treating my stuff like why are you treating me like I'm already a criminal when you haven't even detained me, you haven't found anything, you have no reason to even be in my car in the first place? So, like, to me, that just felt like inhumane, I guess. And I think that's kind of like what really made me like kind of flip, because I was like really crying and screaming and like really upset because it was a scary thing. And when you're in that scary position and you're supposed to call those people, you know, when you are scared, I've been in situations before where I call these people because I'm scared, and then I'm the one that gets taken away, you know? So it's, yeah. And then when they threatened me that they were going to take me away because I was talking, like, I was talking more calmer than I am now.
You were expressing your rights and telling them that they were fucking their job up, and they told you that they were going to arrest you for that.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was really scary, but...
Don't go to Georgia, guys.
Yeah. I guess just, like, stay out of Georgia. I mean, the cops in Texas that pulled us over, because, like I said, we get this all the time. Like, It really is like a norm, unfortunately.
Well, those cops were panhandling in a place where it was illegal and we didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know, but they were really nice about us. They actually slipped us $7. But they told us, they were like, and we didn't have any weed in the car at that time either. And they're like, just so you know, like, just because your car does smell like weed, you are going to have problems from here on out. And we seriously have had problems since then.
From there on out.
Yeah, from there on out. And it's just been, like, I don't want to say it's been stressful, but it's really just been like an unnecessary
extra stress.
Yeah, like nuisance almost. And I wish I didn't have to say that about the cops, because I really do feel like cops are supposed to be civil servants because, you know, working people do pay taxes, and I have been a working person before and I have paid taxes, and I plan to be a working person and still pay taxes. I still have an LLC that I pay taxes for. So, you know, it's unnerving when like these are supposed to be the same people that are, you know, and then they're so corrupt. So, yeah, I guess one of them did used to be an old acid head if they thought my sugar cubes were that. That's funny. They're sitting in Walmart's for the auto department right in front of the cash register.
Yeah, I've been seeing police in Walmart's lately.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's not what we hired you for, guys. It's not what I pay taxes for. You know, they should be, if Walmart's that worried, they should pay some security.
What are the shiny ravens adding in your hair? We have rings, and I have shiny rings and some of these. And yeah, these are what these look like. Oh my gosh, I can finally do like the YouTube makeup tutorial thing. Okay, guys, ready? Is it working? I'll put it in the description below. But yeah, they're just like gold shinies, and then they like open up and you put the dread in there and then you close it on the dread. Like
those little rings that do the
like
same
that.
thing.
But I won't put this one all the way on. So that's what we're doing. We just got these from a beauty supply store called Beauty Supply, so you know it's real. But I would like to take some detailed pictures on my Instagram later on. Also, I said earlier on in the video that I will be promoting for some things that are coming up here really quickly in me and Raven's life and the next gig that we're going to be doing. So if you guys are interested in more details of what's going on, because I'm not going to post about it on YouTube yet. I'm going to wait till it's all said and done, and then I'm going to give you guys some video after. But if you do want to follow the story as it's happening, go ahead and follow me on Snapchat. It's TOMIICADHA on Snapchat, and my Instagram is _on.bound on Instagram. And I'll be posting some more stuff on that too. Ask the cops for a supervisor if you think you're being railroaded.
I mean, we just were told to do that.
By the law, they have to get them. That's good info. Yeah, I think someone did tell us that.
The couple we picked up from Walmart, or from McDonald's, like right after that, who also had problems.
Hey, Jose, are you still here? Yo, Doug, oh my god. Some of these in your beard, that'd be fucking cool. Oh, that'd be dope. Do you have dreads in your beard? Do you see this one? Don't say it. Hey, Jose, what's up? I watched one of Jose's videos today, and I was thoroughly confused because they were saying the name of this one guy, which just so happens to be the name of my old campmate. So I was like, what's happening here? But I came in the middle of the story. So what's up, Jose? Jose, your videos have been looking awesome lately.
Yeah, they have. You really stepped it up, dude.
They're short, and they're clipped, and they're funny, and I love them. And I think I'm your #1 fan, Jose. So better watch out, everybody else. I wish there was a way that I could like add Jose onto the video so he could show up like right here.
That would be cool.
And we can have an online interview with Jose.
There's got to be a way to do that.
I damn hope so. I'm sure there's an app somewhere. I also have this little lock. This one's been on here for a minute though. I gave the key to somebody and they lost it in the Slab City desert. So if you guys ever find a tiny key about this big or so in the desert, you might have found the key to my heart lock.
Which is different from the key to her heart.
No, it's the same. That's why it's been locked up.
Well, now I know.
Now we know. All right, what's the next question on the plate? Jose did a fan appreciation. I thought that was really smart. He's the hobo leader, so
it was don't misunderstand. It was about how much his fans appreciate him.
Yeah, it wasn't him appreciating his fans. It was his fans appreciating him, which I loved, by the way. I met Jose in the slabs. Yeah.
I also met Jose in the slabs.
And I met Raven in the slabs. Yes. I went to slabs October of last year, and I lived there up until March. And then I left in April, and I was with a different group of people at the time. And then I went away, and then I went to Michigan, and then I came back to California. And since then, I've gotten with Raven. We went to Oregon, which you guys saw. Oregon, Idaho, Utah, California, or Utah, Nevada?
Utah, Nevada, New Mexico,
yeah. New Mexico,
Louisiana,
Texas, Louisiana,
Texas.
Missouri, Alabama,
Mississippi.
Was it Mississippi?
Yeah, not Missouri.
Oh, yeah, right. Mississippi, Alabama, Florida. And then we went from Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland to see my buddy Chris. What up? And then we went all the way back down, and then Florida, Georgia. Woof! If you guys can guess how many miles on my car, I'll give you a shout out on something. But no, I don't live there now. I don't live in slabs now. Raven doesn't live in slabs now. Jose is actually staying with somebody right now, and I think he's in Indiana. I think even Spirite is out of slabs.
Oh, yeah.
What's Streamfield, Jose? StreamYard. Is that where you can like add people? Oh, also we we acquired a homie at the hotel we're staying at. You want to say hey?
Say hey to the YouTube
Hello.
audience.
Hi. That's
There's
awesome.
16
You got
people
so many
watching.
people. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
The rest of YouTube, we're slacking, but
yeah. Hey, no, I'm happy with 14 and 3 likes.
Same.
Hey, that's good enough to get you started off. Once I can get my stuff started up, what I want to do is I want to be able to communicate with y'all like y'all do with every other group y'all got, and I can make my own group to where y'all can communicate with me.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
And build up, and then I can have my own YouTube stuff, and I can like have y'all on, and I can go kind of.
Yes, I love that.
Like
Yo,
like
that's what I was just
Create our
talking
own
to.
YouTube community.
Yeah, I was
that's
just
what
trying
I'm
to talk to Jose about that.
You know how they get on and like in California and stuff, they have them YouTube channels that just sit there and smoke all day and stuff like that. It's cool.
Oh yeah, there's those too.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can do stuff like that. We can do pretty much anything. That's what I'm saying.
Yo, when I go back to Cali, I'll smoke a celebratory blunt with all my viewers.
Yeah.
'Cause it'll be legal, motherfucker.
And then we'll get pulled over during the video.
to-
Yeah, we actually just outlawed this shit again.
Oh my god,
I'm gonna
where
have
is
to watch that for
he?
that. I'm gonna have to watch it.
I live next to Community Cause and Slabs. I don't think he ever knew. Maybe he did. I'm sure towards the end everybody fucking knew where I lived.
I actually never knew where you lived until after I left the Slabs.
Really? You passed by my camp every day, and I'd be like, because
Yeah.
I could see your car. I can see all the cars from.
Yeah,
And I know your car.
because I'd be going to the back of Slabs to get wood. Actually,
Oh, really?
yeah, I was always collecting wood back there. There's a fuck ton.
I miss Slab Walmart, guys. I fucking miss Slab Walmart. I miss being able to go out there in the morning and collect all my bottles. I don't know if you guys, like, I'm sure people took over my camp after, we had to get out of there, but I fucking had a glass wall of bottles and, like, this, like, thing that I was, like, gonna make a bar out there, basically, so that yuppies could come through and, like, we could make drinks, like tea and sangria and shit for them. But
I think I'm gonna be good on this for a little while. I wish I feel the strain.
okay, I don't know what all this is. Is this trash talking happening on the chat? Is someone trash talking another person?
No, they're just talking about garbage. They just got bored and started to describe the garbage in their room.
Jose is gonna go live on his channel.
A likely story. I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it.
He says, "Want to go live on my channel to gain some viewers."
Yeah, we can all hang out and chat.
Let's hang out in the live. Let's feel alive.
I'm
Put
not
on
gonna-
some glasses. Some of my texts look pretty wild. Gotta be nice having a room for a little bit. Yo, it's been so nice.
It has been.
So listen to this. My dog is now 11 months old. Fia is 11 months. Where is she? She's sleeping?
She's sleeping right up here.
There's that bean. Yeah, so we got the hotel room and we're like, wow, we're gonna chill. And then Fia got into her first heat.
Yeah, so she started bleeding all over the room.
All over the place. Just like
It was like a
all
horror
over the
scene.
place.
What?
Then we made her a little diaper.
Yeah, then we made a diaper out of towels and bandanas.
Safety pins and bandanas. Now I really wish I would have had that class that taught you how to wrap babies. Like wrap babies up, in a diaper cloth or a cloth diaper. We didn't have that class. We just had cooking and sewing. And then the rest of that class was making pillows.
Are you talking about home and careers?
It was called home something. Home ec, yeah.
I had that.
So yeah, it is nice having a room for a little bit, but also like rooms freak me out also at the same time. So like the first day was like really an adjustment period for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jose, send me a link.
Yeah, you really don't know how to just relax when you get a room right off the bat anyway.
You guys should start Boat Bike 2.0. Okay, Congo Bongo. Obviously, you're new to this channel because we haven't had a 1.0. That was actually a completely different channel of mine that has since been canceled and, revamped, if you will. Since the first version was so brilliant. Okay, I didn't have anything to do with the boat bike. Okay, I just put it in a trailer once upon a time and transported it to Arizona and back to Slab City.
But I do want to make the van into a semi-aquatic vehicle.
Yes, if that's what you are asking, yes, we can do that. Jesus, Kaz, I didn't know you were like that.
Who?
Is this code for something? No. there was this once upon a time, there was a boat that this dude I was traveling with before Raven, he had a boat that he was going to turn into a bicycle, and he called it a home cycle, and he was like gonna do stuff to it, but then he never, like, literally never did. So I guess somebody actually destroyed it. We had left it at the bathtubs in Slab City, and when he went back to go grab it, I guess it had been destroyed, which doesn't really surprise me because that seemed to be the fucking theme with that person. But no, it's not code for anything other than that. Gaz in Congo, the boat bike was he whose name won't be said's plan.
I'll say Voldemort if I want to.
Funny.
Voldemort.
I'm
sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Tom.
Yes, the guy
I'm
with
sorry,
no
Mr.
nose.
Riddle.
All right, I got 15 minutes before this hits an hour. I'm just gonna pack up now. Oh yeah, also I shaved. Well, Raven helped me shave like the entire back of my head, so I have like a thing going on. Oh,
Got you.
yeah, I got like a thing going on. Alien? Yeah, there was an alien involved. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't
Kind
know
of.
if you guys knew this, but Voldemort doesn't have a nose.
He doesn't even knows it. Alright, so I think I'm gonna go check out my hair and see how Raven is done with it. You guys let me know how it looks, huh? Do I got blings in there? Aw, yeah. Blingy, blingy, bling.
Let me give you a light on your bling.
Yeah. Kaz, you should put some music on and twerk for us. How about that?
Your shit's actually really shiny.
Thank you.
Y'all's was both really shiny.
Oh, Raven, you want to show him yours?
Sure.
All right, you're gonna go see Ravens, and this is the one. These are the ones that I did. Come a little closer. Okay, so yeah, put your head somewhere. Okay, so these are Ravens. These are the gold ones, and he has bronze ones in there, and yeah, and they're all bound up and nice and tight, and this one is actually like one long thing. So yeah, I'd say they're pretty damn nice.
Thank you.
And
you did it. It was all you.
I might go hang out on Jose's channel for a while. If you guys want to see another slabber and good friend of mine, Jose Saunders Journeys, I'm sure he'll be in the comments. You guys can go ahead and click those.
Check out Spiritate's channel.
Check out Spiritate's channel. Spiritate Love 2 is her YouTube channel, and you can go check out her thing and how she's doing. And those are really the two people that I keep up most with, other than like my personal favorites on YouTube. Those are my slabber friends that I keep up to date with. And if you guys have a YouTube channel, make sure you comment it down below, and we can follow each other and turn on the notification bell, so when we both post videos, we'll know when we post videos. Again, if you guys want to stay up to date, my Instagram is _un.bound, and my Snapchat is at TOMIICADHA, and that's Tomikata. And if you guys want to donate to my Venmo account, which will be used to give you guys strictly content, my Venmo is TOMIINU, and that's on the Venmo app. And then my Cash App is the $, and then Chromie, CROWMII, if you guys are interested in that. And I'm gonna lead off with some of these messages. Stuff. Great, and that's a great way to end it. I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Bye.